Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of FormuLATTE. My name is Shreyas Mishra, and this is my co-host Saransh. And today, we have the pleasure of talking to Dr. Prakash Parab, an influential member in our society. He has a PhD in biopharmaceuticals from the University of Cincinnati and has taken many initiatives in Monroe Township.
These include Monroe Indians for Civic Action, or MICA, as well as involvement in the SEWA program, among many other things. Good afternoon, Dr. Parab. How are you today?
Good afternoon, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Of course, yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your background and where you are, who you are as a person.
See, I came to United States in 1981 because in India we were not advanced studies in technology. So America was the best, and America gave me an opportunity to come here with full scholarship. I have masters in pharmaceutical sciences from Bangalore University, India. So I came here for PhD with full scholarship in biopharmaceutics, and that was the advanced field. And I graduated, and my whole heart always was to do research and help the mankind. And pharmaceutical research is the one I got in. So for 30 years, I spent time working in Bristol Myers Squibb for the skin products, then the oral products. So I have about 40 patents, and I have about 20 to 30 products in the market which are approved by Food Drug Administration. And what I learned was very important that whenever we had a very good molecule, we had a team to make sure that it is clinically safe and effective and can be marketed throughout the world. So I had an opportunity to work with several scientists, engineers, and take our process and present it to regulatory bodies throughout the world and develop a product which is safe and meets the standards throughout the world. And I was very happy to work with several scientists and engineers and do research.
Definitely, yeah. And as a child, everyone has ambitions, aspirations, as well as inspirations. So, as a child, what were some of your aspirations that helped you get to where you are today?
I wanted to be a doctor, so that was my aspiration. But aspiration is there, but I was just 12 or 13 years old, and was never understood how if you have certain goals, how it may be a dream, but how to approach that dream, how to put the standards and what are the requirements for that. I didn't do it, and no one in India for me. My parents were busy with their work. No one gave me the guidance, so I didn't go to the doctorate. Then I somehow I fell in love with the pharmaceuticals. Then I wanted to go to the pharmacy school, and being a Brahmin that time, to get into the best universities which are operated by the government was very tough. But I got a first rank for diploma in pharmacy, and I got a seat in pharmacy school. There were only 15 seats in the entire state in Karnataka, and I was one, fortunately got the seat there. Then the dream of, I had several good guidances for Gurujis, we call our teachers, and my dream was to do research. And my dean of the college came from United States. He studied in the United States. He said, go to America, you will get a best education and you can serve best for the community and society.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's extremely inspirational, given the limited resources that you had as a child, that you took the opportunity to get to where you are today and become a doctor and go to such a prestigious university, in my opinion. So, how long have you been living in Monroe for?
I have been living in Monroe since 2001.
That's quite a long time.
Yeah.
And after you got your PhD in biopharmaceuticals, what was the next step you took involving patents and the products that you have in the market currently?
So I retired about in 2016. Okay. So 30 years I've spent my career toward devotion to a research, bringing the products to the market, and whenever there was product problem, I was then worked in manufacturing technology, bringing science into manufacturing. See, there was no science into manufacturing. It was all statistical controls and trial and errors.
Right.
So we imposed machine learning, real-time release, understanding the process, and actually put NIR probes in mixing tanks, mixing powders. So we mix the drug until it is homogeneously mixed. So olden days, they used to say, add the powder, mix for 20 minutes and go ahead. We had probes in different positions in the tank. So they said that now the powder has mixed to the 99.9%. Now you can stop. So he sent a message to the mixer and say, stop mixer.
Right.
So we introduced science into technology. We manufacture tablets. They manufacture 2,000 tablets a minute.
Wow.
So the machine which operates the tableting is built on machine learning. If the powder is not flowing, automatically it taps the containers. So implementing AI, we started 8 years back or 15 years back in the pharmaceutical industry, and Bristol Myers was the first company we got real-time release. What happens is, when you make a drug product, it stays in the quarantine for 20 to 25 days until it is tested in the lab. Statistical samples are taken, it's tested in lab, the quality of the product is there, then it is released to the product. So 21 days, millions of dollars of product is sitting in the quarantine. The money is lost.
Right.
So we developed a technology. When the last tablet is manufactured, the quality is built during entire processing. Takes 2 days to manufacture a tablet. So we built a quality during a manufacturing, so the product is released when the last tablet is manufactured. So it is called real-time release.
Okay. Yeah. And that's a really cool production process. And I see that in many of these drug manufacturing companies, they have integrated this to some extent. So I wanted to touch back on another point you had, saying that a lot of children don't have the guidance to where they need to be. And so when I've asked a couple of my friends and a couple of peers that I've had, I ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? They'll say doctor, lawyer, businessman, want to create a business. And then you ask a little bit more in depth, what do you want to do in college? And they'll be a little bit short for words. So, giving them guidance is the most, beneficial aspect to anything, and having some leadership. So what would be some of your ideals and some words to, make them integrated in community and give them an active role in the community?
This is a big question. We can divide into certain segments. First, the parents, teacher, and the student. The combination of the three is very important. The child, it is better to expose the child to different fields. Okay, let them do community service, like we do in MICA, Monroe Indians for Civic Action, is built on volunteering. So let them do Seva Diwali. Let them at least visit the food pantries, visit the person. So they have to visit the hospitals, visit the doctors, visit, if you want to be a lawyer, listen to some podcast and all. So exposure of the child to different fields is very important, right from when they are in the 9th grade and all. And every child, it is important, has basic knowledge is important. Language, the grammar, the way you communicate. So that is very important. So when you are in the school, learn that. Mathematics, science, history, all these 5 or 6 basic pillars one has to learn. By that time, the child understands, I have more affinity to biology, I have more affinity to chemistry, or where the passion is, okay? If the passion is there, then you can show to the child what different opportunities are there, okay? So the child can decide. So Then once they are in the ninth grade, they can go into our Monroe School offers different wide variety of program from STEM to engineering, arts, political sciences. All fields are there.
Right.
So one can go into that and then go for graduation and study in those fields. And while studying also, once you have basics, suddenly you feel passion for certain field. If your heart is there, they go every day. What one has to do is after graduation also, if you are in certain field, every day you have to read 1 hour. Read 1 hour with respect to your profession, read one sometime with general knowledge. So that will give a seed to move forward and get opportunities. So talking to your friends, talking to your friend circle, talking to your teacher, talking to the guidance, understanding, so that way you can decide what you want to study and where you want to study. And when you decided what you want to study and where you want to study, then set a goals. As I said, I wanted to be a doctor, but I didn't set a goal. What I have to study, how much I have to study, what I have to score. I didn't
Right.
set a goal for that.
Yeah.
I had a dream, but I didn't put how I can reach there. So that is very important. You have to draw a line and say, if I have to go there, how I can go, how efficiently I go. I can do mistakes, but how I can learn on my mistake and be again on the track. That is important.
So you think that a full-fledged experience of exposing a child to all the industries that are possible is the best way to success in this world?
No, not all. When the student is studying,
Yeah. That's,
you look at the child's passion towards the chemistry, biology, history, math, and all.
Right.
And if the child has weaknesses, put them in tutorials, teach them so that I had a bad math teacher. So I tell you, my math career I didn't study well in math. But when my son at the fourth grade was not doing well in math, I sent him to the special classes like Kuman and other things. So where he got trained, then he got the basic knowledge and did the well.
Right.
So you do that, then look at the passion of a child. Every parent, I know Indian parents want their child to be a doctor or engineer, or in business, or in computers not there. So, if the child you're forcing your child, but also give the child an opportunity,
exactly.
Expose them to all. At least they learn little bit, master, jack of
Yeah.
all fields so they can decide. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually resonate with that a lot because I wanted to be a scientist when I was a child. I always had my, focus on becoming an archaeologist, studying dinosaurs. It was just very interesting to me back then. But then throughout my life, it changed. Chemistry, biology. And then when I came to high school, that's when it truly changed. I became exposed to the field of business and, through clubs, outside of school activities, I developed a passion and, a love for business.
I completely agree. I have a love for public speaking as it is today, and that love only started when I was in high school, and I was exposed to the idea of public speaking through clubs such as Model UN and the Future Business Leaders of America. So getting the exposure, I believe, as you were saying, is extremely critical to know what you want to do in life. Because even now, I don't know. I really have no idea what I want to do in life, but I know where my interests lie, and I know that my passions can further this.
Right.
And also, see, I was looking for my son to be in medical field as well as PhDs. Our universities offer such a wide variety of courses and all. So understanding also which field you go, when you go to the college, make a best use for the buck.
Exactly.
Because there are so many good courses offered. You better take them because your basic knowledge, what you need, is built in.
Yeah.
So when you go into the field, you can apply them and keep on learning every day. Because if you're in computer sciences, you cannot say that I learned. Every day learning is, the knowledge is going, amount of knowledge we are getting is exponential nowadays.
Right.
So there are tools how to learn, but we cannot learn everything. So
Exactly,
be specialized. Concentrate in which field you are so you can become most successful.
Yeah. And I agree with that completely. So I wanted to ask, starting Mika and becoming a leader in say what are some challenges that you face? Because of course, when you're in a path, you'll definitely have some obstacles, but how you get over it is very important. So yeah, how did you get over those obstacles?
The three basic things you have to remember when you start an organization. What are the goals? Monroe Indians of civic action. The main goal is civic engagement, civic responsibility, and civic action. So, civic engagement means you have to understand what the people's needs are, understand what people's needs are in the town. You have to be there when people lose someone in their family to help them when they are grieving.
Exactly.
You have to be there when the celebration are going on, like Seva Diwali, Deva festival. You volunteer and be a part of your culture and community. Let it be Hindu, Muslim, or Christian. We Indians we have all the religions, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, and all. We respect as a civic all the religions. And we want our children to understand their culture and religion. Because coming to United States, with all these social things available on the internet, our children forget that. But they have to learn their basic culture and religion. Okay, so that is very important. So most important what happened is encouraging the volunteers, encouraging the leadership. Now Seva Diwali, we are there. I'm not only the leader, I'm the facilitator. Your father, Sachit Malhotra, is a leader from Monroe Manor, one of the leaders from Monroe Manor, and you guys are helping him.
Yeah.
So building a leadership in the town is very important. So how we achieved the goal, empowering the leadership to others, stimulating them, encouraging them. When they do a good job, publish it. Okay? When the child does a good job or the parent does a good job, reward them by what they have done. So that gives a energy to other to volunteer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So one as a leader and facilitator shouldn't be I. It has to be we.
Completely.
Yes.
Yeah. And building a team, empowering and building new leadership in different fields. Okay. For example, one fellow wanted to start Legos, computer sciences, so he became a leader of that. So like that, we get different projects from the children, we promote them. So that is how we build. So the obstacles we are solving, if people are not interested, how we can make them interested.
Right. Definitely.
So you said not I, but we. But in order to get that we, you need to have a base and a great way to talk to people and interact with them. What are some of the values that you have when you interact with people and try to engage them in your projects in Sewa and Mika?
The most important, I learn every day. And we learn every day. One has to be a good listener.
Exactly.
And listen to what the person is saying. Because he or she may have good ideas.
Right.
Can't be knowledgeable in everything.
So capitalize on them and say, okay, these are good. Can you do it? Or how we can help you.
Yeah.
Can you write up your thoughts? We can publish it. We can get how we can at the same time brainstorm with them. Okay?
Yeah.
So it becomes not I, it becomes we.
Yeah.
And also we indirectly start teaching them also, your leadership counts as long as you include everyone.
Sure. Yeah. And lastly, to end it off, what is your advice for, aspiring entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, anybody who wants to follow a path and who has their guidance?
What do you mean that what advice you need?
So, people sometimes will not gain their entire knowledge. Like you said, you should be exposed to different types of things. What is your advice for the children themselves to follow their dreams?
Follow the dream. When you have a dream, make goals. How you can reach your goal. Prepare for it, okay? For example, I want to start a business. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to have this product marketed.
Right.
So, why this product? Why it is needed? How it is needed by different people? How it is going to help the society? How it is going to help? So, that thought process has to be there.
Definitely.
So, when you set a goal, how I can reach there, you have to write a path.
Exactly, as you said.
Sometimes failures occur. When failures occur, you learn. Again, you have to say how I can come back.
Right.
Some back when you are going there, that path may not be correct. So you have to be flexible,
Exactly.
not stubborn, because whenever you want to be an entrepreneur, sometimes the model changes,
Exactly. Yeah.
and sometimes you might have thought you are going to be the first in that business. By the time you are reaching there, already there are hundreds or thousands. Then you have to retweak your model. How I can differentiate from these 1,000 people?
Definitely.
How I can differentiate from this 100? So being an entrepreneur is always thinking process, dreaming, thinking process, learning every day, and having a good team and good
Right.
advisors. That is very important.
So, all in all, for people who want to gain more of an active role in everything, they have to listen to other people. They have to get advice from everyone, and importantly, they have to be willing to learn, and they have to do the learning itself.
Learning, reading.
Yeah.
I tell you nowadays, the knowledge is so much available already on the internet. So getting the perfect knowledge, there are bad knowledge also. You have to filter it out, read, listen to the topmost people, experts, professors, entrepreneurs, attend meetings, attend seminars, participate in discussions, okay? Building network.
Right.
All these things are there, okay?
Yes. So yeah, we value your importance and your advice to our peers, and we thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah.
And we resonate with your journey. We love that you were able to gain your own perspective on things and further your perspective on the community as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brewing success.
One sip at a time.